Have you ever found yourself wondering quietly, is it still normal to want that kind of closeness? Not just a hug or a kind word, but the kind of connection that feels deep, intimate, and alive. If you're nodding gently right now, let me say this. Clearly, you are not alone. You are not strange, you are not out of touch, and you are certainly not past your time. Welcome to Wellness for Modern Seniors, where we speak truthfully about aging with grace, courage, and wisdom. And today, we're going to talk about something most people don't tolerate: intimacy. Yes, we're going there. Not for shock, not for scandal, but for healing, understanding, and freedom. So to all my modern and unstoppable seniors, especially the women who've been quietly carrying questions for years, this video is for you. Because silence has kept too many of us confused, uncomfortable, and disconnected from our own bodies. Today, we break that silence. We'll explore 5 important truths about oral intimacy that every senior woman deserves to know. No shame, no fluff, just honest, compassionate conversation. And by the end of this video, I promise you'll feel more informed, more confident, and a little more at peace with yourself. If you've ever sat in quiet with questions too awkward to speak out loud, drop a comment below that says, "I deserve clarity," and make sure to subscribe to Wellness for Modern Seniors, because we're just getting started with the conversations you've waited a lifetime to have. Let's begin with truth number 1: desire never retires. Meet Gloria, a 75-year-old former nurse from Minnesota. She's the kind of woman who makes you feel warm just being near her. Always wearing something floral, always humming a tune from the 60s. And yet, one day at brunch with her daughter, Gloria paused mid-bite and softly asked, "Is it odd that I still think about being close with someone? You know, really close?" Her daughter reached across the table, squeezed her hand, and said, "Mom, it's beautiful." Not odd at all. Gloria smiled, but her eyes welled up. Because even after all these years, part of her still felt like desire was something to hide. That's the problem. For so many women, especially post-menopause, we're taught to quietly pack away our sexuality like it's an old sweater we've outgrown. But here's the truth: your brain, your heart, your senses, they don't just stop. Yes, our bodies evolve, our hormones shift, and our rhythms change, but the need for connection, for closeness, it remains. In fact, for many women, that need becomes deeper, more emotional, more meaningful with age. We don't crave novelty, we crave being seen. The media may not show it, and society may not talk about it, but intimacy is not a phase. It is a part of being human. So if you felt that longing in quiet moments, know this: you're not broken. You're alive, and you're allowed to want, to feel, to express. But let's be honest, desire is only one part of the equation. Because sometimes your heart says yes, but your body says hold on, not so fast. And that brings us to truth. Number 2: dryness and discomfort are common, but they are not a life sentence. Let me introduce you to Ruby, 69, a retired librarian with a gentle voice and a soft laugh. Ruby had been happily married for over 40 years, but recently, she found herself pulling away from physical intimacy. Not because the love had faded, not because the attraction was gone, but because each time her partner leaned in for more, Ruby felt a sting literally. The tenderness she once looked forward to now came with pain, and with that came shame. She didn't want to talk about it. Not to her partner, not to her doctor, not even to herself. She started avoiding touch altogether. But one afternoon, while reading an article online, much like this video, she learned about vaginal atrophy, something that affects a huge percentage of postmenopausal women. She learned about the drop in estrogen, how it impacts natural lubrication, and how non-hormonal moisturizers and lubricants can make a world of difference. Ruby made one small change, and slowly, the comfort returned. So here's the bottom line, my modern and unstoppable seniors. Discomfort during intimacy is not your fault, and it doesn't mean the end of your sexual expression. It means your body is asking for care in a new way. There are options: non-hormonal lubricants, water-based and plant-based gels, even pelvic floor therapy and vaginal moisturizers specifically designed for mature women. Hydration helps too. Yes, simply drinking more water can support those delicate tissues. And of course, take your time. Let touch be slow, gentle, intentional. Your body is still worthy of pleasure. It just needs a new language now. And speaking of care, let's move to truth number 3. Hygiene matters more than you think. Not just for comfort, but for protection. Consider Diana, 73, who kept getting recurring infections even though she wasn't having intercourse. She and her partner enjoyed oral intimacy now and then, something quiet, tender, meaningful, but afterward, she'd feel irritation and discomfort. Her doctor finally asked, could this be related to oral contact? And for the first time, Diana realized no one had ever told her that bacteria from the mouth can upset the balance of the vaginal area, especially in older age when our immune systems aren't what they once were. Let's clear this up. Oral intimacy can carry bacteria, viruses, and even trigger infections like yeast, BV, and UT. As it doesn't mean you're dirty, it just means we have to be more mindful. Before intimacy, both partners should rinse their mouths with water or a mild alcohol-free mouthwash. If one of you wears dentures, clean them properly. Avoid sugary foods or drinks before oral contact. And yes, basic hygiene like washing hands, wiping front to back, and wearing breathable cotton underwear still matters. If your partner smokes, know that tobacco increases bacterial load in the mouth. These aren't rules to restrict you, they're rituals to protect you. And when hygiene is respected, intimacy becomes safer, more relaxed, and far more enjoyable. Now, let's get even more real with truth number 4. Sties don't retire either. Margie, 70, had just begun dating again after many years of being single. She felt giddy, like a teenager again. Her new partner was kind, respectful, and charming. But a few months in, she found herself diagnosed with an STI, something she never imagined at her age. And yet, here's the truth: rates of STIs among older adults are rising. Why? Because many believe they're no longer at risk. There's no fear of pregnancy, so protection often disappears. Oral intimacy is often seen as safe, but infections like herpes, HPV, syphilis, and more can still be transmitted through mouth-to-genital contact. And because symptoms are often mild or masked by other health issues, many cases go unnoticed. But you deserve protection no matter your age. Open conversations with your partner about STI testing are not awkward, they're powerful. They are proof that you honor your body. And if your partner resists that conversation, take that as information. You can also explore protective tools like dental dams and condoms made for older adults. Remember, using protection isn't a sign of mistrust, it's a sign of self-love. Now, let's talk about perhaps the most sacred truth of all. Truth number 5. Emotional intimacy is just as healing as physical touch. After 65, after 70, after 80, our emotional needs don't shrink. In fact, they deepen. We don't just want skin on skin, we want soul to soul. Think of Evelyn, 76, who had a minor stroke last year. She struggled with words afterward, with movement, with energy. But the thing she missed most, not her mobility, not her independence, but the small ways her husband used to look at her, touch her hand, brush her hair from her face. They had drifted apart, not from lack of love, but from fear of not knowing how to be close anymore. Until one day, they sat together quietly, and Evelyn said, "Will you just hold me?" That night, they didn't talk much. They didn't need to. They simply held each other. And in that stillness, everything changed. Intimacy is not about performance. It's about presence. It's about being seen, being felt, being known. Even non-sexual touch, holding hands, a back rub, a long hug can reduce cortisol, ease depression, and remind you that you're still here, still worthy of love. If you're single, consider massage therapy, dance classes, support groups. Connection doesn't always have to come from romance. It can come from friendship, from service, from simple shared space. And if you're partnered, be brave enough to begin again. It's never too late to rediscover each other. Eye contact, soft conversation, shared memories. They all count. They all heal. Now, before we close, let's take a breath and reflect. Here's what we've uncovered today. 1. Desire does not vanish. It changes form, but it lives on. 2. Discomfort is manageable. Your body is not shutting down, it's asking for care. 3. Hygiene matters deeply. It's not about fear, it's about love. 4. STIs are real, even now. Protection and honesty are dignity in action. 5. Emotional intimacy can heal what silence has harmed. And unstoppable seniors. You are not too old to be touched, held, seen, or loved. You are not invisible. You are vital. If this video made you feel heard, drop a comment below saying, "I deserve clarity," and let us know what touched your heart today. What do you wish more people knew? Share your story, your truth, or just a small piece of your journey. And if this message felt healing to you, please like this video, subscribe to Wellness for Modern Seniors, and share this with a sister, a friend, or someone who needs to hear it. Because here, no question is too awkward, and no woman is ever too old to feel whole. Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and remember, intimacy has no expiration date, and neither does your worth.